Prison is a meat grinder of human fates. When you're thrown in it, you stop believing in justice, but never stop to fight for it. From the letter of a Ukrainian political prisoner, Oleg Sentsov.
His method of fighting for justice is the hunger strike. His demand, freedom for all Ukrainian political prisoners in Russia.
Knowing Oleg, I can say he would fight till the end, and by end, I mean deaths.
High hopes were tied to the World Soccer Championship. Russia was in the center of attention. People all over the world were calling to root for Ukrainian political prisoners. Other political prisoners joined the demands in the hunger strike of Oleg Sentsov. This topic resounded internationally. Protests and events are held in New York, Paris, Krakow, Berlin, and many other cities around the world.
Freiheit für Sentsov! Freiheit für Sentsov! Freiheit für Sentsov!
We had a lot of hopes for the championship because the topic of political prisoners, when many of them were on a hunger strike, was highlighted on many platforms. We thought that could happen any day now.
It never happened. The Kremlin ignored all calls to free them. Due to a threat to their lives, some of the prisoners stopped their hunger strikes. Alexander Shumkov, Volodymyr Baluch, and Alexander Kolchenko.
Over the time of his hunger strike, he lost 10 kilos, and with his height of 190 centimeters, his weight was 54 kilos. It was terrifying.
Sentsov's body started undergoing irreversible changes. He was forced to stop his hunger strike. It lasted for 145 days.
Essentially, he was forced to stop his hunger strike. He avoided being tortured since they would stop his hunger strike by shoving a tube down his nose. Oleg would not stop it otherwise.
First and foremost, this could have affected the liberation of Sentsov. Maybe we could have exchanged other political prisoners. But if it did not happen, that means we are now existing in new conditions, when Russian authorities are unresponsive to this international pressure.
Ukrainian authorities are expecting international partners to be more involved. Kyiv is ready to exchange 23 Russians captured in Donbass for Ukrainian prisoners.
Ukraine is ready to exchange these terrorists that were arrested on the charges of terrorism, participation in illegal military groups, and waging war against Ukraine for Ukrainian political prisoners at any moment.
Russia continues to illegally hold Ukrainians. Roman Sushchenko was sentenced to 12 years in prison. In November, he was sent to a penal colony in Kirov region and put in solitary cell.
You're not allowed to lie down or sit on the bed. That means that a person is forced to stand or walk all day long. There are no power sockets. That means you cannot use a kettle, TV, or a fridge. They give him boiling water once a day at best, and when they bring it, that is taken out of the cell to walk outside. That means there is no way to drink something to warm up.
The trial of Pavlo Hryb, a 20-year-old student, is still underway. He is being accused of terrorism. Doctors are not allowed to see him, and his health is rapidly deteriorating.
He had disabilities since he was a child. He has to take medicine all the time, which he was not allowed to. He needs medical supervision, which was also not granted, and it's still not granted.
There are now 70 Ukrainian political prisoners being held in Russia. On November 25th, Russia also added 24 prisoners of war to their prisons. The Ukrainian sailors illegally detained near the Kerch Strait. Reported by Lyubov Zadorozhna, UATV.